Heroes and Generals is a free-to-play, massive multiplayer online game based on the Second World War. It has both a first-person shooter component and a strategic component.
I only just saw the final trailer and I was a bit blown away, frankly.
Been a very positive response.
Very happy with the way that it looks fantastic.
I really enjoyed it. It was a bit of a boy's own kind of dream come true, if I'm honest.
Last time I saw it, it was just a bunch of people running around a green space. The brief was to create a kind of side-scrolling, a single shot that would run from general to general, and along the way you'd get the infantrymen and you'd move on to the tank commander and then the plane pilot. They didn't want planes flying in the background, so the planes are kind of grounded and they get blown up on the runway.
Move across the battle at a relatively slow pace so you could actually physically see the individuals, because that's your choice in the game to play as these individuals.
The inspiration was all kinds of different films, I suppose, that we've seen over the years, like Saving Private Ryan, but also things like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, because of the wire work. So it's kind of somewhere between World War II and ninjas.
Yeah! The actual characters and the uniforms and the weapons and tanks and vehicles are obviously very important for us to have very correct and historically accurate.
We chose to shoot on the Sony F55 for a number of reasons. One was that it would shoot at 240 frames and maintain a Super 35mm look. The other things we had to consider when lighting were the explosions. This was another reason why we chose the F55, because it has a global shutter and it will actually show explosions, flashes from lightning strikes. It will expose them properly over the whole frame. We used a Furio dolly, which is a motorised dolly that you can control yourself via a pedal. Perfect for tracking at a certain speed along with the actors, so they could run at full pelt and the motion could look correct at 240 frames.
I really wanted to have a real P-38 tank in there, but that was unfortunately not possible. We had actual physical set pieces, and one of those was the top of the tank, and it was green, so the actor had something to lean on, and he was able to use those physical bits to help his performance.
Come on, you guys, it's Friday!
It was very interesting to work with the stunt guys. The project kind of depended on their ability to be blown up realistically, which I thought they did very well.
Because we were working on a green screen, there wasn't actually anything immediate in front of us to work off of. You visualise almost being on a battlefield, and in your head there's stuff coming at you, stuff shooting at you. I think I died probably about 5 times within the space of one day, so it's the way of the job.
And 4.
There was a lot of kind of very careful coordination of everyone's movements and of the camera moving at the right time and explosions going off at the right time. And to get the perfect shot, we had to have all of that kind of going off at once.
I worked alongside the motion director, which was great. It was fantastic. We both had, obviously different ideas. Mine from an action point of view, him from a performance point of view. It worked really well to have, 2 different sides of it. One from an emotional point and one from a physical point. After watching any kind of, Second World War movie, you obviously want someone with a very good, strong face. The first that came to mind was Ryan, who I thought would look great.
I do get typecast quite a lot, but I quite enjoy the roles I get. The vein in my head is just a natural thing that happens when I get angry. And as you can see, I was very, very angry.
It was kind of fun when the guns came out for the first time, to be honest, because they were, real decommissioned guns, because they had to be very authentic. Suddenly the entire stunt team were just kind of standing around all this pile of guns, and they kind of walked over, and I think it was Ryan who looked around and kind of went, "Which one would you have?"
That was a quite surprise. They wanted me to play the general. I don't think I looked like a general, I looked more like a grunt, but I was very happy.
Probably the biggest challenge actually is simply that we had to make an awful lot in one day, and it was quite complex technical stuff.
We used Cinema 4D extensively for this whole project. from previous to post-production. We used After Effects, we used Turbulence, FD. We had compositors, 3D artists, roto artists. We had lots of data because we render everything in layers. So we have a separate layer for the reflections, for the shadows, for the color information of the different objects that we do in 3D. The thing that I'm most proud of is the models themselves. The two hero elements were the German tank and the American plane, and they were like fairly accurate and quite high resolution models.
The highlight of the whole job was how efficient everyone worked together, from my stunt team to the whole crew. It was a smooth shoot, and the sequences looked really, really good. You know, we were all very happy.
The only downfall is that it's 45 seconds. Basically, we did that in a day. Imagine if we'd have had, I don't know, 3 weeks, what we could do.
If you're a creative person and you're involved in creating any piece, it's always very hard to let it go at the end, and that's one of the important things that you have to learn, to sort of like see when the point is there to say goodbye.